What do you think of his You look like somebody. Alan, ever give you your 80? No, we're not answering next time. You'll catch up with you, Tilly. Staged here at Coventry since the contest started back in 1961. Well, as Peter quite rightly pointed out, the top 10 places are at stake this afternoon. Well, as we look down towards the big stage, our cavalcade about to take on the track. We bring out in the Lincoln Continental Mr. Tim Sells, the chairman of the BSPA. We also welcome Johnny Green, the Speedway Control Board manager, the Speedway Control Board chairman, Mr. Michael Lim, members of the BSPA management committee, and the promoters of both Division 1 and Division 2. We welcome the Variety Club of Great Britain as well, in their first triumph with British Speedway. As we bring the riders down now to their official places of introduction with their team colours. So here they are then, the boys that are going to generate top flight speedway this afternoon. Commonwealth final is the next destination towards Hocking in the World Final. The top 10 places at stake this afternoon, so all the riders looking to qualify. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's now meet competitor number 1 from Edinburgh. His 8th appearance in the British final, a former world number 2, Les Collins. Well done, Les. Riding out at number 2 from Reading, making his 3rd appearance. Celebrated his testimonial last year with the racers, 27-year-old Dave Murray. Riding at number 3 from Kings Lynn, former world finalist from 1990, England international, Richard Knight. At number 4 from Eastbourne, former British under-21 champion, member of the England squad, former world finalist, 23-year-old Martin Newgard. Riding at number 5, making his debut at this British Speedway final from the Bellevue Aces. Second in the British Under-21 Championships, 20-year-old Constantia. What can we say at number 6? 2 times the British champion, looking to make it 3 times this afternoon. The reigning world Speedway champion, 24-year-old Gary Hamilton. Also for Bradford at number 7, 23-year-old, a mainliner. Yeah, he smiles as well. 4th appearance in the British final, Sean Wilson. At number 8, representing Sheffield in Division 2, what a mainliner he is in that division, and a former England star as well, Peter Carr. And at number 9, from the Reading Racers, former bronze medalist from the 1989 World Final, his 9th British appearance in the British final, former Commonwealth champion, former overseas champion, regular England member, Jeremy Doncaster. Aged 433, yes. Competitor number 10. Oh, what a dream come true for this young man from Eastbourne. His debut world final, he picked up the winning honours of the Ipswich semi-final. 20-year-old David Norris. David. On to competitor number 11 from Ipswich. Former world under-21 champion, regular England international. 4th appearance in the British finals. 23-year-old Chris Lee. Riding out at number 12, the pride of Manchester, British under-21 champion. His 3rd appearance in the British final, Joe Screen. At number 13, it's not going to be unlucky for the following rider from Rye House, the main cosmonaut of the Rockets. Oh, who can doubt that? His debut in the British final, Colin Goodwin. At number 14, with Arena Essex, again, the debut man of the British final, greatest season ever for him, 25-year-old Troy Bragg. At number 15, with the Coventry MHBs, former number 5 in the world, his 9th British final, Andy Smith. Okay, number 16, with Cradley Heath, a former British champion from a couple of years ago, not too long ago, a former Division 2 Riders champion, his 8th appearance, Andy Graham. 2 reserves for the meeting, we welcome in Mr. Graham Jones from Wolverhampton, his 4th appearance, so Graham, first reserve then. We welcome Graham, and finally last but by no means least, what a hairstyle. From Sheffield, David Blackburn. Alright, so they, ladies and gentlemen, are the competitors this afternoon, being greeted by the lawmen of Coventry as well, as I talk to you. They're looking for the top 10 qualification places that will generate them forward in their next step to the World Speedway final at Hocking in Germany. The Commonwealth final we're talking about at the end of May at Kings Lynn. A great event, Matt, but they've got to qualify first. So points are what it's all about this afternoon. We load the boys back on our official parade vehicle here at the London, along with Crown Jewels cheerleader girls. We have, as I say, the first official tie-up with the Variety Club of Great Britain at British Speedway, and we've got loads of kids down here looking probably at Speedway for the first time. We welcome all the members of the Variety Club. Is this your first visit to Speedway?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Adam.
Adam, what's your name?
Ian Brown.
Ian Brown. Well, we won't forget that, will we?
So riders coming out then for heat number 1 of this 1993 British final. Weather conditions, of course, totally different to what they have been in the past for British finals. You'll line up for heat number 1, riding in red from the Edinburgh Monarchs, one of 3 Division 2 riders who fought their way through to this British final in 1993, former world number 2 way back in 1982 at the Los Angeles Coliseum. It's Les Collins. In blue, in his 3rd British final, Reading heat leader David Mullett. And in white, from the Kingston Stars, back of course in Division 1 with Kingston after season Division 2 with Berwick Bandits last year, world finalist at Bradford, it's Richard Knight. And in yellow and black, from the new look Eastbourne Eagles, finished 2nd in the corresponding meeting last year, it's Martin Dugard in yellow and black. So as they come into line in 4 heat 1, Les Collins on gate 1, Dave Mullett gate 2, Richard Knight gate 3, Martin Dugard gate number 4. 4 riders ready for this opening heat. Been howled a long time by Jeff Colby, a clean break, and Dugard's made a good gate there inside. Richard Knight goes boring away through on the inside line. It's Richard Knight who leads in the back straight on lap number 1. Dugard in 2nd, Collins in 3rd, Dave Mullett at the back. They're bunching up going into that Coventry bend, but a surprise leader of heat 1 on lap 1 is Richard Knight from the Kingston Stars. Close to being pushed there by Martin Dugard. Mullett now coming under pressure and Les Collins for that 3rd place position. But it's Richard Knight, as I say, back in Division 1 with the Kingsland Stars this season and doing a good heat to the job there. Fulham still 5-6 yards clear of Dugard. They complete lap 2. Mullett still in 3rd now. Les Collins losing contact with the back after making a mistake upon that pitch point. Dugard getting slightly closer to Richard Knight, but Richard Knight still your clear leader. On the last lap this time, and Dugard's right there with Knight now as they move into the pitch corner. 4 equal time. Knight rides mid-track. Dugard trying to cut back for the inside line. 2 bikes between them. Mullett in 3rd, Collins way down the back. It's interesting now inside to Coventry corner. 4 equal time again. Dugard tries to cut back, but it's a win there for Richard Knight. 2nd, Martin Dugard. 3rd place, Dave Mullett. So Kingston, Richard Knight wins heat number 1.
This British final, Martin Dugard runs the 2nd, with Dave Mullett in 3rd place. And give him a cheer on the back straight. The opening race, always a tricky one with nervous tensions running high. Well, as I mentioned, Richard, of course, a former World Speedway finalist from the 1990 final of Bradford, and now finds himself third with Kingsley. Good news for him. The race winner, Richard Knight. So, good opening heat there of this British. We'll check out the official results and, most importantly, the time from Peter Morris up on high. It's always interesting to find out where you are standing in your various groups with supporting your various teams and riders. So Bellevue's Carl Stonier, as Peter Morris pointed out, up to the tapes in the red helmet colour. Watch for Carl, making his debut in this championship. Sean Wilson in blue from Bradford. Coming up to the line in yellow and black, Sheffield's megastar, Peter Carr. And that leaves then the reigning World Speedway champion, the man who flew the Union Jack to honours at the Wrocław Stadium in Poland last year. 2 times a British champion, looking to make it 3 on the trot, Gary Havelock.
1 minute remaining, just 1 minute.
So coming into heat number 2 then, Carl Stonier from the Derby Aces. First appearance in the British final heat, rides in red. In blue, former Coventry favourite, his 4th British final, took the last qualifying place in the Cradley Heath semi-final with a run-off after winning a run-off with Graham Jones. It's Sean Wilson. The rider in white, looking to create speedway history here this afternoon, the reigning world champion, and looking to become British champion for the 3rd successive time, a feat never accomplished before. It's Gary Havelock. And in yellow and black from the Sheffield Tigers, his 2nd British final, one of 3 Division 2 riders who fought their way through to this British final this afternoon. It's Sheffield's Peter Carr. That's your lineup then for heat number 2. Coming into line 4, heat number 2, Stonier at gate 1, Wilson gate 2, Havelock gate 3, Peter Carr gate number 4. Heat number 2, this 1993 British final. Being howled, and it's Havelock making a good gate. Wilson tries to work his way to the second coming of the section and Peter Carr as Havelock leads. Then the back straight there and Stonier trying to get inside Wilson. Wilson won't be moving. Wilson has a second place. Carr trying to get the third. They're bunching up the second, third and fourth, and Carr really gives Stonier a hard ride on that Coventry bend, and Stonier's up from second to last. There's Havelock well away at the front. It's Wilson second. These two pulling away from Peter Carr. Stonier back in third place. Into the Coventry corner on lap 2. Wilson has really gone wide, and that Coventry bend almost came to a stop, sliding out of the Coventry corner. Stonier has worked his way to the third, and Wilson really under pressure now for his second place after making a bad mistake on that Coventry corner. Havelock, the reigning champion, miles away at the front. Wilson still in second. Stonier goes to drive around the outside of that Coventry bend, closing up all the time on Wilson. Grimley hanging on the second place. There's still Havelock then from Wilson. Stonier still in third. Carr now at the back, is down the back straight, and Stonier's only a bite behind Sean Wilson. We'll see where the action is for that second and third. And Stonier makes a mistake on the Coventry bend as Havelock wins it. Second, Sean Wilson. Third place, it is Carl Stonier, and all sorts of things happening there at the back for second, third and fourth. The pre-meeting favourite, Gary Havelock, miles away at the front. Wilson for 3 of the 4 laps, frantically looking down at his bike after making a bad mistake on that Coventry corner on the second lap. It's still checking the machine now as he goes back up into the pinch. It's a convincing win for Gary Havelock. Second, Sean Wilson. Third, after a real hectic scrap there with Peter Carr, it's Barview's Carl Stonier.
There's a lot of Eastbourne supporters here, having 2 riders make up the field. So where are you, Eastbourne? David Norris! And a whole host of Ipswich supporters for Chris Louis.
So Gary Havelock's winning time over a second quicker there in heat number 2, 62.4.
Jeremy Doncaster. And Stuart Giles is here from Bellevue. That means he's brought the whole procedures down to support Joe Screen.
So when we go to heat 3 then, David Norris, of course, new close-season captain by the Eastbourne Eagles, the winner of the Ipswich semi-final, making his first British final appearance. He rides in red. Chris Louis, third here in 1991 from the Ipswich Witches, he's in blue. Jeremy Doncaster, third in 1986 and 1990, vast experience rider, 9 British finals behind him, he is in white. And Joe Screen from the Bellevue Aces, of course on a double World Championship trail of World Championship and Under 21 World Championship from the Bellevue Aces, he's in yellow and black. As we await the riders settling then for heat 3. Norris, Louis, Doncaster and Screen. Screen was lending some new leathers this afternoon, as of course was Gary Havelock in the previous race. Being held, and it's Doncaster making a good gate, the 3-gate, Louis and Norris. It's really tight there, and they leave Louis nothing at all, and Joe Screen was at the back watching all that action, got caught, he's worked his way to the third. Chris Louis drops the back, and Screen goes barging inside Doncaster, moves Doncaster over on the Coventry corner, and Louis follows him through, so Doncaster has dropped from second to last. As Norris leads then from Screen, it's Louis in third, Doncaster at the back, and they make the way on the back straight once again. And David Norris's form has really been a revelation for Eastbourne this year. Top of the Eastbourne averages after his move from the Ipswich, which is Sean the Winter, pulling away from Screen. Louis in third, Doncaster, vast experience, Jeremy Doncaster trying himself at the back at the moment. David Norris, the clear leader now. Joe Screen has had to back his way to the second after watching that hectic action on the first corner. Chris Louis in third, Doncaster at the back end, pretty well spread now as they make their way to the back straight on lap number 4. Norris from Screen. Louis in third, Jeremy Doncaster at the back, and Norris has made a bad mistake on the Coventry bend. He's thrown it away there. He really has thrown it away there. He was cursing himself again. He's thumping the air in disbelief. He can't believe that. The race was there for the take, and he'd done all the hard work. There seems to be a little bit of a spot that they're hitting back out there on that Coventry corner. Wilson had problems with it, as did Stonier, and then opening rides, and for no reason at all, David Norris, who'd done all the hard work, was 20, 30 yards clear, suddenly went really wide upon that Coventry bend, and Joe Screen doesn't miss chance like that. So battling his way right through from the back.
Getting his head down for a practice start there. Coventry's Andy Smith.
So coming out for heat number 4, the last of the 16 riders on view. And the line at 4, heat number 4, riding in red from the Coventry Bees. Home track advantage here this afternoon. The only rider with home track advantage. Finished third in the last final last year. It's Coventry's own Andy Smith. In blue, another rider making his British final debut. Pleasing to get through at Cradley Heath in front of his father. The young man having a real good season. Marina Essex, it's Troy Pratt. In white from the Cradley Heath Heathens, British champion way back in 1982. Another qualifier from the Cradley semi-final, it's Andy Graham. And in yellow and black, another rider creating a little bit of history this afternoon. The first rider from Roy House to qualify for a British final. It's a vastly experienced Martin Goodwin. He'll be no stranger to this Coventry track. He's ridden in many Division 2 riders championships, and of course with all his years of experience in good stead here at Coventry this afternoon.
Right, looks like we've got a bit of problems for Martin Goodwin there in yellow and black, who's crouched over his machine.
Been a few problems there for Martin Goodwin, frantically checking something there in his bike in that number 4 gear. I think it was the last rider to arrive at the stadium this afternoon. He too wants the green light switched on, which Jeff Dolby obligingly does. So they come into line then for 4. Smith, Pratt, Graham and Goodwin. All 4 ready. Green lights on straight away. Been held again. Andy Graham makes a good gate to quick, and Andy Smith gets in, and Smith pushes Graham wide in that corner, and Goodwin cuts back for last a second. What a good piece of riding there by Martin Goodwin. He watched Pratt and Graham battling it out. They took one of the wide, and he went through the gap that they left, and again the riders finding problems on that Coventry bend. As Smith chose then from Goodwin. Pratt in third. Andy Graham made the best start, now finds himself at the back of the moment, and Smith coming under quite a bit of pressure for Martin Goodwin out the leading position. As Smith and Goodwin now, Pratt trying to get into contention third, and again Pratt has split it really wide coming out of the Coventry bend. Those two in turn does Andy Smith. It's Smith just ahead of Goodwin. Pratt in third. Graham at the back. Just down the back straight on lap number 3 they go, and Coventry does Andy Smith. Now slowly but surely pulling away from Martin Goodwin. It's Troy Pratt in third again, going really wide, coming out of the Coventry corner, but Andy Graham can't get anywhere near him at the moment. And Smith still from Goodwin. Pratt in third. Graham at the back. It looks like home favourite. Andy Smith's going to pick up 3 points in this heat number 4. What a good opening ride this coming up for Martin Goodwin as Andy Smith wins it. Second, and a real good second coming right through from the back. Martin Goodwin. Third place, Troy Pratt, and that will please the coach vote of Roy House fans. There they are, there by the stock car gate there. They're line to about his second place in heat number 4.
So old Foxy from Coventry gets it absolutely spot on that time around. So as he enters the home straight away, come on, let's give the race winner a cheer. Coventry's Andy Smith. Well done, Andy. So the boys sorting themselves out then after their first set of rides. We'll hand you up to Peter Morris and we'll grab a few riders to talk to.
Martin Goodwin rides in red, taking 2 on the trot. Les Collins is in blue. Carl Stone here in white. Jeremy Doncaster in yellow and black. None of these had, apart from Martin Goodwin, a good opening ride, so a chance for them to pick up some points in this heat number 5. Anyway, we've got Martin Goodwin on gate 1, Les Collins on gate 2, Carl Stone gate 3, Jeremy Doncaster gate number 4. 4 riders ready, away, and Doncaster's made a good gate, the full gate. Goodwin lifts at the start, and Stonia gets inside Doncaster on that pitch corner. It's Stonia for Doncaster. Goodwin works his way to third, again relegated. Les Collins the back as he was his first one, and Goodwin trying to get inside Doncaster, gets inside Doncaster on that Coventry bend. Doncaster comes again, but Goodwin's worked his way back through into second place. Estonia then from Goodwin. Doncaster in third. Collins now having to go at Doncaster is third, so Doncaster again has dropped from first to third. He's under pressure for his third place, and Les Collins and Doncaster's gone really wide coming out of the Coventry corner. Les Collins goes by him, so disaster again there for Jeremy Doncaster. He's gone from first to last again. Estonia leads in the back straight on lap number 3 in heat 5. Goodwin again a good back in second place. Collins now taking closer order, but I say that Collins in turn goes wide on the Coventry bend. They're all going really wide on that Coventry corner. but it's still Barbue's Carlstone you release. Then the back straight on lap number 4. Goodwin in second, Collins in third, so 2 consecutive second places. And Martin Goodwin, that's a great start for the Division 2 riders. Carlstone wins it. Second, Martin Goodwin. The Rye House fans are absolutely delighted about that again. That's 4th in his opening 2. He couldn't really have asked for much more than that. Carlstone wins it. Second, Martin Goodwin. Third place, Les Collins. Disappointment again there for Jeremy Doncaster. 2 last places, and now he really is going to have to fight to get through to the Commonwealth final.
Number 6 now. That's an important one. Troy Pratt is out there. David Norris, Dave Mullet, and Gary Havelock.
So into line 4, heat 6. Troy Pratt in gate 1. David Norris, gate 2. Dave Mullet, gate 3. Impressive winner of heat number 2, Gary Havelock, gate number 4. 4 riders settled. Pat Norris, Mullet, and Havelock away, and it's Havelock making a tremendous gate from the outside. Pat gets in the inside. Dave Mullet also in the thick of the action. They sort themselves out, and Mullet's got pushed wide on that pit corner, and Norris works his way from the third. And Troy Pratt really having to go at Gary Havelock on that Coventry bend, but couldn't seem to turn again on the bend, and Norris has worked his way to the second. Good aggressive stop there by David Norris was last. He's now over in the second place. As Havelock then for Norris, Pratt in third. Mullet again finding himself at the back as they move into the Coventry bend on lap number 2. It's Havelock, the conditions coming alive to him. Actively a crouching style that he showed in Rockmore in Poland to win the world title. 5-6 yards clear of Norris. He's still Pratt in third place. Dave Mullet now losing contact at the back as they go into the Coventry bend, and Norris is definitely getting closer to Havelock coming off that Coventry corner. But Havelock rides the same run again into the pitch bend. Norris still there in second, Pratt in third. Mullet at the back. As down the back straight they go once again. So looks like 2 out of 2 coming up for Bradford's Gary Havelock. A great start, Britain's quest to win a 3rd consecutive British crown. Gary Havelock wins it second, and a good ride there by Dave Norris in the second place, and in third place it's Troy Pratt. So Gary Havelock wins it second, David Norris, third spot Troy Pratt. Getting quicker there. Gary Havelock sets the quickest time of the afternoon. It's 62.1 seconds, just a second outside the track record. Heat 7, Chris Louis, third place, first time out. He rides in red. Andy Smith, winner of his opening ride, is in blue. Sean Wilson, second place, first time out in white. And Richard Knight, the winner of the opening race, he's in yellow and black. So a good lineup for this heat number 7. So settling 4-7, Louis, Smith, Wilson and Knight. Away, and Wilson makes a good gate there, 3 gate, and it's Andy Smith trying to work the way from the inside. Wilson goes wide, Smith works his way from the into Wilson. Wilson second, Louis in third, Richard Knight the back as they move into the Coventry corner on lap number 2 then. Smith a long way clear of Wilson, they're bunching up behind Wilson. As Smith leads him playing lap 1, Wilson's in second. It's Knight in third, Chris Louis at the back as they make their way down the back straight on lap number 2. It's Smith a long way clear at the front, still Wilson in second place. Richard Knight taking close hold on Wilson coming out of that Coventry corner. He's gone wide. Wilson keeps a tight line and hangs on to his second place. There's Smith still then, Wilson second, Louis in third, Richard Knight at the back as they make their way down the back straight once again. And Andy Smith getting the cheer of the home fans. He's well clear now in this race number 7. It's still Wilson second. Wilson lifts coming out of that Coventry corner, and Chris Louis right there with him now for that second place. Wilson on the inside, Louis trying to work away around the outside, cuts back for the inside line. Could be interesting last corner for the second place as Smith has got it still in the front. Wilson on the inside, Louis goes to speed round the outside on the race to the line, and I think Sean Wilson's just hung on to the second place to win there for Andy Smith. Just I think on the line Sean Wilson, and in third place Chris Louis after some good action there in race number 7.
Now where's that Andy Smith banner on the back straight? Oh, there it is. Very good race win there. 2 under the belt for Andy Smith, the home MHB's favourite at the moment. Getting the cheer on the home straight away, ladies and gentlemen. The race winner, Andrew Smith.
And the former company favourite, 2 second places in his opening 2.
And I had to go close for scoring with Sean. And then I messed it all up on the next one. Tried to be a big hero and completely screwed it up. But just hope I can keep on getting points in every race, and a couple more wins, I'll be happy.
Sure you will. For the moment, thank you very much indeed, Carl Stone here. Thanks, Carl.
So as they come into line, 4-8, Martin Dugard on gate number 1. Peter Carr, gate 2. Joe Screen, gate 3. Andy Graham, gate number 4. They settle then for 8, Dugard, Carr, Screen and Graham. 4 riders ready. Away, and Dugard makes a good gate for the inside Screen. Gets away with it in 3rd place. It works his way in the 2nd ahead of Peter Carr. Andy Graham finding himself with the back as Dugard shows. Then the back straight on lap number 1. Screen trying to pound away around the outside. These 2 lock shoulder to shoulder on that Coventry corner. Dugard goes wide. Screen tries to cut back for the inside line as Dugard gets in Screen. Carr in 3rd. Andy Graham at the back as they make their way in the back straight once again. And Screen looking for an opening on the inside. Dugard a fight between these 2 as they move into the Coventry bend. Dugard goes wide. Screen goes wider. Cuts back for the inside line again. Might just get a drop on Dugard this time then. As Dugard shows from Screen. It's Andy Graham in through. We've lost Peter Carr with the 6th bike at the back. For the action again at the front of Screen, just a bite behind Martin. Dugard goes to the outside of that Coventry corner, tries to cut back again, but still Dugard's just got the drop on Screen, but Screen's almost alongside him now, and Screen gets through on the inside of that pit bend and moves Dugard wide. Dugard trying to cut back for the inside line. What a superb ride there by Joe Screen. As Screen shows for Dugard, Graham in 3rd. Classic ride there by Joe Screen. He stalked him for 3.5 laps and then got inside him on the last corner. Lovely ride by Joe Screen, and the idiots who ride in the Speedway style did about the Eastbourne match, which was a cracking match, and said you can't pass. Let's hope they were watching a superb Speedway race there in race number 8. Superbly won by Joe Screen for the back. 2nd, Martin Dugard. 3rd place, Andy Graham. That was a classic ride. He stalked him and stalked him and stalked him, and finally barnstormed his way through on the inside of that pits corner. Classic stuff there from Joe Screen in heat number 8.
You're pleased to see them on the terraces?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. A great bunch of people follow me everywhere.
All right, good enough. For the moment, Martin, thanks very much. We'll catch up with you later on. Morning, Goodwin, live from the Coventry. Thanks, Martin. Well, the boys turning themselves around then, are ready to take to the track for heat 9. Just sitting there astride their machines is Les Collins there, waiting for the out. Gary Hamilton, the world champion, in a moment. Already waiting, Les Collins. And Andy Graham, of course, Andy getting 2 rides consecutively. So, 2 on the trot then for Andy Graham. Interesting to see Sean Moran here from the Bellevue Aces. Hi, Sean.
Hey, hi, Peter.
Joe Screen, great start to the meeting for you. 2 tremendous wins, particularly the last one.
Yeah, it's, I made a better start than I did in the first one, and today there's a bit of dirt there. This is not the Coventry I know, so I'm enjoying it up to now.
You stalked Martin with 3.5 laps and made you move on the inside of the pits corner and start the last lap.
Yeah, I was trying to pick him off all of the time. I was quicker than him coming out the corners, and I know if I could have got on his back wheel coming out the corners, I knew I had a good chance of getting inside of him to just to run him a bit wide going in the corner, which it worked.
Bit of a bonus in your first when Dave Norris completely messed up the last corner on the last lap.
Well, that's Speedway, that's the luck you have, and you take it when you can.
6 points for you opening 2. You must be well pleased with that, Joe.
Yeah, I'm still greedy for points, but I'm halfway there now. Another 2 or 3 points and I'll be happy. I've got 3 rides left. If I can score in a point in every one, then I'm in the bar early.
Thanks, Joe. Congratulations on the superb ride. in the bag. Whatever happens, that should be enough to get you through.
Yeah, definitely.
Congratulations, Andy.
Thank you.
So, heat 11, Peter Carr, yet to score a point, he rides in red. The same applies to Jeremy Doncaster in blue. Richard Knight, he is in white. And in yellow and black, the two third places so far, Troy Pratt. That's stayed on for heat number 11. Carr gate 1, Doncaster gate 2, Knight gate 3, Pratt gate 4. Heat 11 of this 1993 British final. Away, and it's Carr making a good game for the inside, but Richard Knight has made a better one. The third Knight shows them, and Carr locks it up tight on the inside of Pittsburgh, gets to second place, but Doncaster works away around the outside of him. Troy Pratt at the back, and Richard Knight, your clear leader, coming out of the Coventry corner. Peter Carr trying to get inside. Doncaster falls on that Coventry bend then. It's Knight from Doncaster, Pratt in third. Peter Carr up an OK walk, rather sorely off the track on that Coventry bend. Just can't seem to master these bends here at Coventry. But Richard Knight well away from Doncaster. Looks like he's picking up his first points of the afternoon. Pratt looks like getting his third consecutive third place, but he's getting close to Doncaster, that second place now. Richard Knight, winner of his opening ride, picked up a last. His next looks like getting 3 points to keep him in contention. Leads on to his last lap. Still Doncaster in second. Troy Pratt in third. Then the back straight they go once again. And Troy Pratt getting really close to Jeremy Doncaster. Could be an interesting strap on that Coventry bend. Pull that to second and third position. Richard Knight picks up his second winning ride of the afternoon. Second, his first point of the afternoon. Jeremy Doncaster. And in third place is Troy Pratt.
So Almighty Dan struggling earlier on, he said, found the machine going slow, I knew it was the tap-ins. Well, he's obviously proved that he's got it right. Good man. So Richard Knight picks up the win there as on 11. Heat 12 then just ahead of our interval, and the men looking for more points. Martin Goodwin out there in red, Martin Dugard in blue, David Norris in white, and Sean Wilson yellow and black. A string of second places there, so something must give as the boys look for points as we head towards the interval.
So they go to heat 12, interval heat. 2 second places, 4 points. Martin Goodwin rides in red. Same applies to Martin Dugard in blue. 2 second places with 4 points. David Norris, he's also on the 4-point mark with 2 second places, and the same applies to Robin yellow and black, Sean Wilson. So all of these have got 2 seconds in their opening ride. Just a couple of points behind the leaders. Something's got to give in this heat number 12. So Goodwin, what a revelation he's been this afternoon. He's on gate 1. Martin Dugard, gate 2. David Norris, gate 3. Sean Wilson, gate 4. This could be a real hard first quarter, I think, in this heat number 12 interval heat. Dugard, Norris and Wilson. Starting Martin moves away, and it's Goodwin making a good gate for the inside. Wilson gets across to the 4 gate, but Dugard goes barging inside him as Dugard shows then from Goodwin. Wilson third, Norris at the back, and they make their way to the back straight on lap and 1. Drama indeed. As second division, Martin Goodwin still shows ahead of Martin Dugard. Wilson third, Dave Norris at the back as they come to complete lap number 1. And the Rye House fans absolutely on their feet on that top corner. Still Goodwin shows then for Dugard. Wilson third, now coming under pressure when that third place, and Dave Norris is trying to get round the outside Wilson on that Coventry bend, and Goodwin still shows to Dugard. Wilson third, Norris right alongside Wilson with the third place. They make their way into the pits corner once again. Norris trying to cut back inside Wilson, comes alongside Wilson. Wilson shuts the door on his face, but Martin Goodwin soon powering on the front, and he's pulling away from Martin Dugard. Still a dog fight for that third place, and Wilson locks up in front of Norris, gets ahead of Wilson. Wilson's going to try and cut back inside Norris if he wants a third place in this one, but Martin Goodwin, 2 splendid second places so far. There's going to be Cat with a winning ride now in heat number 12. A superb ride there by Martin Goodwin. Second is Martin Dugard. Third place, David Norris. Wilson at the back, and something had to give in heat 12, and a superb winning ride there by Martin Goodwin. He really is doing the second division.
And looks like stamping his name on the Commonwealth final at the interval stage. So the man fired up for victory He's looking for qualification place.
Tremendous reception for Martin Goodwin. That really is a revelation. He's had against 3 second-place riders. He's had 7. He's got 2 rides to go. He looks like a Commonwealth final. With me now, with this promoter, I would think the happiest man in the Coventry pits at the moment. 7 points, Martin. Tremendous start at the interval stage.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. I wouldn't never believe that I'd have had 7 points after 3 rides, you know, and at the moment, I keep my fingers crossed, everything's going really good.
And that last race, to get all 4 of you, had all had 4 second places. You'd all got 4 points. It was a really tough heat.
Well, it was tough. I was lucky, really, that I was off gate 1 and I had a reasonable start. They lifted coming off the start line, and when I got it down, the motor seemed to die a bit, but it kept going all the way to the first turn, you know, and I was lucky to get there, but when I was coming out of the first turn, I was waiting for everybody to come by me, you know, but they didn't, so I thought, well, I better go for it.
2 more rides, another couple of points, and you've got to be a racing cert to go through the King's Lynn.
Well, I hope so.
Ronnie, you must be really pleased with his performance this afternoon.
Yeah, what can you say? Highly elated. You can't say nothing else. It's the first time in the history of the club that the Rias riders qualified. I don't know a rider with more aggression and more confidence to represent us here. The mayor and mayoress of Broxbourne have come because they've seen it in the paper, and for the club, this is a marvellous, marvellous day.
And a whole host of fans over by the stock car gate, they're really enjoying it.
Tremendous amount of fans. I've been right around the stadium now, and everywhere where I go around, I've seen Rias fans all the way around. What I wanted them to do was consolidate in an area to make Martin feel he had backing. He don't do it. He can do the job on his own.
Thanks, Alwyn, Martin. Thanks, Martin. Best of luck the closing 2 rides.
Thanks very much.
So let's have a look at the individual score too. They've all taken the 3/18. Joint meeting leaders at the moment. Brad Goods, Gary Havelock, the reigning champion with 9 points. And Joe Screen having easily his best British final ever, also on 9 points. Just 1 point behind those, dropping to 1 point. Home favourite Andy Smith on 8. And then the shot merging easily on this British final with just at the rear end. He's absolutely got the hoop in the pits. And he can blame you after 7 magnificent points from his 3 rides. Then comes Richard Knight on 6 with 2 wins in the last place. Martin Dugard very, very consistently lead. He's got 6th and 3 second places. And Carl Stone in a surprise package this afternoon, very much in contention with 5 points from 31 race win. Dave Norris also on the 5 points. Sean Wilson on 4 points, 2 second place in the last. Chris Louis, all the way down the scoring order for Chris at this stage, admitting just 4 points from 3 starts. Troy Pratt, another very consistent rider, 3 third places for 3. Jeremy Doncaster is really struggling to find the points this afternoon. He's got 2. There's Collins, another rider with 2. And Dave Mullet, once again, things not going very well for him in the British final, just the 1 point from 3 starts. And Andy Graham again with 1 point. And Peter Carr, who never really has shown his true form on this Coventry circuit, failed to score from his opening 3 rides. That's the situation as we wait the riders in for Heat 13. So Noah wants to settle first for Heat 13. Wilson, Scream, Pratt and Collins being held away, and Screen has made a good game. Wilson gets the corner, back ahead of Screen. It's Pratt in 3rd. Les Collins in back, and Wilson's gone really well, and Pratt's alongside Wilson. Drops them first and 3rd. Troy's going back inside Troy Pratt on that Coventry corner. And it's Screen who shows them, and Pratt, Wilson 3rd. Wilson locks on and comes over the Coventry bend in last place. A Screen then from Collins, Pratt in 3rd. Wilson back, trying to get inside Pratt. Coming off that pit stop, Pratt gets back round Wilson again. The last place here could then Sean Wilson's chance of a place in the top 10. There's still it's Screen then from Collins. Pratt in 3rd, Wilson trying to hit back at Pratt for that 3rd place position as they move into the pits corner once again. And Joe Screen starting to put quite a bit of delta between himself and Les Collins. It's still Troy Pratt in 3rd, Wilson now with an order at the back. He was in 1st place at one time, now finds himself at the back this time as they come on to the last lap. Screen from Collins. It's Pratt in 3rd. Wilson tailed off at the back as they make their way down the back straight once again. So it's 4 to the 4 coming up for Joe Screen, putting the pressure back on Gary Havelock as Joe Screen makes it 4 to 4 with a wheelie. Second is Les Collins, and in 3rd place Troy Pratt, and now Sean Wilson really has got to sweat it out after getting 2 second places in his opening 2. He's now had 2 last places.
No, the W drive there, certainly scoring well today in this British final. Let's give it here on the home straightaway here at Coventry. The race winner, Joe Green.
7 points on gate 2. Peter Carr, no points, gate 3. And Chris Louis on the 4-point mark. And with a chance to move himself up the scoring order, he's on gate number 4. So Mullet, Goodwin, Carr and Chris Louis. All settled for 14. Away, and it's Mullet making a good gate. The inside, Goodwin gets it in. Chris Louis a big handball on that pit's going to work his way to the third or second. As it's Mullet who surprisingly leads in the back straight on lap number 1. Louis in second, Goodwin in third. Carr at the back, and we've got drama in this one. It's still Dave Mullet leads now as they complete lap number 1. It's Louis in second, Goodwin making inroads into Louis' second place, trying to get inside him on that pit's corner. Louis goes to drive round the outside, has got the quicker line than Goodwin, but still Dave Mullet, your surprising leader of race number 14. It's Louis in second, Goodwin in third, Carr at the back, and if Dave Mullet wins this one, it really does make that dogfight even more intense, those last qualifying place. That will move him up to the 4-point mark. Peter Carr has packed up with a sick bike at the back. As shocks in heat 14 as Dave Mullet leads now on to his last lap. Louis in second, Goodwin in third, but a point here would move him up onto the 8-point mark and almost a race in certainty for a qualifying spot. As Dave Mullet leads in the back straight 4D full of time. Louis pressing hard, but still 5-6 yards down. I'd say winning the Mullet keeps him in with a chance of one of those last places. Dave Mullet wins a dramatic race 14. Second, Chris Louis. Third place, Martin Goodwin. Big shot there, heat 14.
Had a nasty cut not so long back in an accident down at his home track at Formby, but got over that one, thank goodness. So Dave Mullet, your race winner out at 14, and the competition begins.
And it's on for heat 14, the winner in red, Dave Mullet. Dave Mullet's winning time was 62.8. 62.8.
Then as the boys line up at the tapes there, Andy Graham on the inside, former British champion, as we told you. Richard Knight in blue, David Norris in white, and Stoney. Carl Stoney here from Bellevue in yellow and black.
So, on we go to race 14. Race 15, it's Andy Graham, he really needs the points in red. Richard Knight, 2 wins so far in blue. David Norris in white, Carl Stoney in yellow and black, heat 15. Away, and it's Graham in fact making the gate from the inside, but Knight gets round him on that corner. Norris trying to follow him around. Carl Stoney at the back, and Andy Graham needs points. A second place in, he could still be under squeeze for one of those last places. But it's Richard Knight who leads coming out of the Coventry corner to complete lap number 1. It's Graham in second. Norris in third, Stone, you're at the back, and they make the way to the back straight once again. And Richard Knight, if he wins this, that'll be 3 wins in a last, so he could well be on his way through with 9 points. The next round's on his own home track at Kingston. He slides it wide, coming out of the Coventry bend, and Norris really bores a hole in Andy Graham on that Coventry. That was good. Aggressive stop there by Norris. Has put Graham off. Lawrence Stonier has worked his way to the third again, but Graham gets back on him again. That was a real hard corner there by David Norris. As Knight shows then for Norris, it's Graham in third, Stonier and Graham having a dogfight for that crucial third place position. But no dispute in the race winner. It's Richard Knight miles away at the front. It's Norris in second, Graham still grimly hanging on the third with Stonier at the back as they come out of that Coventry bend. The race is still on for last place. Richard Knight wins it, second Dave Norris, and in third place it's Andy Graham. Good action there in race number 15.
Richard Knight there picks up the win out of heat number 15, and David Norris consolidating his position with a second place there. The boys make their way back to the pits, as does Simon Wick. Thanks to Simon for coming out talking to us. And we bring down a couple of our VIP celebrities who are with us this afternoon, watching the speedway here for the British final. We look forward to the pleasure of their company after the meeting. Heat 16 now, and Jeremy Doncaster desperately looking for points out of this one. The world champion Gary Hamlock in blue, and that's Gaza coming out of the pits now. Molly Dugard in white.
So heat number 16 then.
In yellow.
Give Jeremy Doncaster in red, Gary Havelock unbeaten in blue. Martin Dugard in white. Andy Smith just dropped the 1 point so far. He's in settle first for Heat 16. We wait for Havelock in 2-gate, Smith in 4-gate. 4 riders now ready. Green lights on, starting Marshall moves away, and it's Dugard, in fact, who makes a good gate for the inside. Doncaster in the action, Havelock's at the back at the moment. As Smith goes right round, Havelock comes alongside Dugard. It's Dugard and Smith shoulder to shoulder in that Coventry corner. Havelock amazingly at the back, and Doncaster spears into Havelock and almost brings Havelock down. Surely that race should be stopped now, because Doncaster badly interfere with Havelock. Havelock throws his arms in the air, the race continues. That's really going to cost him dear now then. As Smith from Dugard, Havelock with also in third after almost being speared into the fence there by Jeremy Doncaster. The Coventry fans on their feet now. Andy Smith a clear leader from Martin Dugard. It's Havelock still in third. Doncaster way down the back. And Joe Screen must be really rubbing his hands in the pits of the seam, the side of Gary Havelock way down in third place now as Smith leads on to his last lap. It's Dugard in second, and Havelock's really motoring after that second place, and Martin Dugard has already picked up 50-60 yards on Dugard. It could be an interesting last corner as Havelock's given everything he knows. They go, it's a bump on that to Coventry Bend. Andy Smith goes really wide again, but he's got the victory. Andy Smith wins it. Second, Martin Dugard. Third place, Gary Havelock, and that was dreadful bad luck there on Gary Havelock. He was back in third place, admitted, but he was virtually speared into the fence there by Jeremy Doncaster. Obviously, quite unintentionally it happened, but it really has cost Gary Havelock dear there in that heat number 16. So your winner gave himself very much in the hunt of a rostrum place. It's Andy Smith. Second, Martin Dugard. Third spot, Gary Havelock. And that now gives Joe Screen a clear lead with 1 ride to go. Andy Smith, yellow and black, David Norris to a win here for Andy Smith. Could well book himself a place on the rostrum, and who knows, even top spot. He's only dropped the 1 point so far. Joe Screen hasn't dropped any. Andy Smith in second place now on the 11-point mark after the drama of the previous heat. So away, and Smith absolutely roars at the gate with Dave Norris set alongside him. Collins works his way from the third as Smith comes under pressure with Norris on the outside and Collins up the inside. But it's Andy Smith who shows them from Les Collins. Norris in third, these three already a long way clear of Chris Farrence. They come to complete lap number 1. It's Smith under tremendous pressure from Collins. Collins trying to get inside Smith on the inside of that pits corner. Collins inside Smith. Smith back round the outside. Norris in third place. Good action again in race number 17 as Smith again drives it a bit wide. Coming out of that Coventry Bend. Collins goes to mid-track. The Jawa hasn't quite got the pair again there, but he's back alongside Smith again on that pits corner. Smith again turns on the pair on the outside of the pits corner. Looks over his left shoulder, pulls slightly away from Collins. Going down that back straight. Smith's wide again this time. Collins is wide with him. He looks at this time, Andy Smith has got the measure of Les Collins. A win here for Andy Smith, I think, would almost certainly guarantee him at least second place in this British final. As Andy Smith leads into the Coventry corner, 44 time, the second place here for Les Collins, keeps him in the hunt for one of the minor places. Andy Smith wins it. Second, Les Collins. Third place, Dave Norris. So Andy Smith finishes on 14 points. At least second place, a possible chance of a run-off if Gary Havelock can beat Joe Screen when they meet in what could be a dramatic race number 19. So Andy Smith finishes with 14, assured of at least second place.
That's where the Australians and the New Zealanders come in tomorrow.
This 1993 British final. So heat 18, say they're all at the lower end of the table, looking for one of those last couple of 3 places. Doncaster Mullet Wilson and Graham away, and this Mullet making a good start. Wilson gets boxed out the first. In fact, Wilson comes down on the first corner. All four locked together. It's Wilson who bites the dust on the first corner. The race continues. There are no exclusion lights on, so it looks like the end of the road for Sean Wilson as the racing goes on. And we've got a rider down on the top corner as well. So drama indeed. Everybody watching Sean Wilson who's looking for the lights to come on. We've got a rider down on the Coventry bend as well. White and yellow are excluded. The gate, his running teammate Dave Mullet slides by him, and Doncaster seems to be very ill at ease here this afternoon. He's dropped to 6 in fact in the running averages, dropped 3 points off his average. He's not really come to grips with the meeting this afternoon, but Dave Mullet, who I said was sat very ruefully at the interval with 1 point and 3 starts. A win here will give him 6 for his next 2 and a possible qualifying place. As Mullet leads into the Coventry corner once again, it's Doncaster trying to get through on the inside and not too far behind Mullet as they complete lap 2. But I say that Mullet starts to pull away on the straight, and Mullet from Doncaster. In the back straight they go once again, the 2 running teammates. Mullet slides it wide on that Coventry bend as so many riders have done this afternoon. Still Doncaster in second place, they're well on to the last lap this time. Straight goes Dave Mullet, pulling a little bit more daylight between himself and Jeremy Doncaster. Going to collect this second winning ride of the afternoon, and a crucial one of that for the running meet leader as Dave Mullet wins it. Second, Jeremy Doncaster.
Jeremy Doncaster second, obviously no first finisher. There we go, heat 18 then, with the big one coming up next, heat 19. Oh, spots will fly.
Dream of retaining his British crown has gone, but if he could go out and beat Joe Screen in this one, that would move Gary up to 13 points, be short of third. But even of course he beats Joe Screen, Joe is going to have that point in hand. It would mean a run-off between Andy Smith and Joe Screen if Gary Havelock were to beat Joe Screen in this race, number 19. So Joe Screen, they'll say, has never really shown his true form on this Coventry track. But he's found it to his liking this afternoon. He's put together 4 winning rides, 2 of them in superb style for the match. Just had that little bit of luck when Dave Norris slid out wide on that last corner in a race that Norris was going to win. But a long way to go, and I think Gary Havelock will probably be pretty determined after the incidents of his last outing. So no one wants to settle first. They haven't been too bad at coming into racing order so far this afternoon, but they're taking an eternity to come into line for race number 19. So Knight, Screen, Goodwin and Havelock away, and it's Knight making a good grade. Havelock gets it with him. Screen Screens in third place, gets inside Havelock, but Havelock gets round the outside, Screens back in third, and if it stops that way, Andy Smith, British champion, as Havelock gets round the outside, Knight, Screens trying to back the way through, he's got to get in second place here to get into a run-off for this British crown then. Havelock leads him, but he won, Knight gets back inside, Havelock again, pushes Havelock wide, and Screens start to close them both down, Goodwin at the back, as Havelock alongside Knight, terrific stuff this shoulder into the Coventry bend, and this time Havelock does get round the outside, and here comes Joe Screen trying to barnstorm his way into the action, as Havelock then from the Knight, Screen trying to get inside Knight, closing down, Screen has got to get a second to get into that run-off, as Havelock still shows then for Knight, Screen in third, and Screen almost overcooked it on the Coventry corner. They're on the last lap this time, and Joe Screen's not going to get above third place. The British champion's going to be Coventry's own Andy Smith. They're going down the back straight for the final time. Havelock from Knight, Screen in third, determined effort by Screen. Right round the outside, Gary Havelock wins it. Second, Richard Knight. Third place, Joe Screen. That means Andy Smith is the new British champion. There'll be a run-off for second place between Gary Havelock and Joe Screen. They both finish on 13 points, but Coventry's own Andy Smith is the new British champion.
Program Stoney, Carl Stonier in red, Troy Pratt in blue, Chris Louis white, and Molly Dugard. And there you go. So as I say, the climax of one heck of a British final here at Coventry for 1993. And we've got it all to do in a moment with the run-offs.
So they come out then for race number 20. Carl Stonier in red, Troy Pratt in blue, Chris Louis in white, Martin Dugard in yellow and black. Many thought Martin, it could be his chance, certainly from the favourites for a rostrum. Again, they were want to settle first for race number 20. Four riders finally move into line all together, Stonier, Pratt, Louis and Dugard. Already away, it's Dugard making a good gate to the outside, Stonier gets to the action, goes charging in to Chris Louis to move into the third. Troy Pratt finding himself with the back as Louis works his way back round the edge of Stonier as Dugard then from Louis. Stonier in third, Troy Pratt at the back, and that's Shorter coming out of that Coventry corner and on to complete lap number one. Dugard from Louis. Stonier in third, Pratt at the back. And down the back straight they go once again. Dugard coming under pressure with Louis and Pratt trying to get inside Stonier on that Coventry bend and get a crucial point for himself. Still Dugard, 5-6 yards clear of Chris Louis, coming again right alongside Stonier. He's moved Stonier over. That was good aggressive action there by Troy Pratt. He really moved Carl Stonier over, gets a crucial third, and now Louis starting to make a chase out of Dugard as they come on to lap number 4. It's Dugard from Louis. Pratt in third, and Pratt closing up on the leaders after taking 2 laps to get by Carl Stonier. He's right there with Dugard and Louis in turn, looking to line round the edge of Dugard. Troy Pratt trying to control the inside line. Louis locks up, he just got alongside Dugard there, he locked it up, and it's Dugard who wins it. Second Chris Louis, third place Troy Pratt, and Louis in front are still racing. That really was tight there for those 3 places, but it's a win for Martin Dugard. Second Chris Louis, third place Troy Pratt. One of the tar selected for the outside gate, Troy Pratt on gate number 2. They settle in for the first one off. Away, and it's Stonier just getting the drop. The Pratt gets the corner first. Stonier closing down, but gets a nudge from Pratt again. Pratt goes wide, tries to take Stonier wide. Stonier trying to cut back for the inside. Lifts going down that Pratt straight with a bite between them into the Coventry bend on lap number 1. There's Pratt round the outside. Stonier trying to cut back on the inside. Good racing between these 2 youngsters for this reserve spot. As Pratt again goes wide, coming off the pits, coming still a bite between them. Stoner pitching inside, pitching outside, but still can't get by Troy Pratt as they come on to complete lap number 2. Now he tries to attack round the outside, a couple of bites between them now. As Pratt on the outside of that pits corner, Stoner locks himself inside it, definitely close the gap on Pratt. There's still just a bite between them. As Pratt rides mid-track, Stoner doesn't quite know where to go. He lost a few yards on Pratt there as they start the last lap. Pratt slowly but surely pulling away from Stoner. As Pratt then the back straight on lap number 4. He's got 10-15 yards on Stoner now, so looks like Troy Pratt in his first British final is going to notch the reserve berth for the Commonwealth final as Troy Pratt wins it. Second is Cole Stoner, and Cole Stoner really tried hard there for 3.5 laps, but just on that bottom corner he lost out to Troy Pratt, and each notches their reserve berth.
Let's give Troy Pratt then, who now shakes Cole Stoner's hand. A big round of applause. Troy Pratt and Cole Stoner.
It was Gary Havelock who beat Joe Screen. Havelock at that time from the outside gate winning that race with Screen on gate 2 being point. But Joe Screen dropped Richard Knight, forced him into third, cost him a run-off for the British Crown, but he's still now in the run-off for second place. So Gary Havelock in white, gate 2, Joe Screen in red, gate number 4. The final race in the 1993 British final.
And in white, the reigning world Speedway champion, Gary Havelock. It's a good job we didn't have the cheer-ometer on in that one.
So the two riders settle for this one off for second place. Away, and it's Havelock who gets a drop Screen. Little rank to start with, slightly rolling to start. The referee calling him out shoulder to shoulder, going into that piss, but then Screen round the outside. What a superb ride by Screen. But Havelock's not finished yet. He's cutting back on the inside line. Screen round the outside. Havelock cuts back up the inside line. The Screen leads now, can put in lap 1. It's Havelock in second. That was a superb pits corner there by Joe Screen. Give Havelock his due. He just about left him racing room, and Screen was brave enough to go through it. And it's Screen who shows now then from Havelock, 10-15 yards between them as they race into the pits corner on lap number 3. Havelock close up going into corner. Screen again pulls away on the straight. We really have seen the best of Joe Screen here at Coventry this afternoon. The Screen keeps a tight line on that exit from the Coventry corner. He's pulling away from Havelock now, so after winning the title for the last 2 years, Gary Havelock has not been content with third place this time, but Joe Screen gets his highest ever placing in a British final, coming to the winner one off for second place. Will it be a wheelie? Now he keeps both wheels on the floor. Joe Screen wins it. Superb first corner there by Joe Screen. Give Havelock his due. He just about left him racing room, and Screen was brave enough and gutsy enough to go through it. So they shake hands, going down the back straight. Screen celebrates for that custom Joe Screen wheelie and celebrates his best ever British final performance. Second place after run-off in the 1993 British finals. The old champion from the Coventry Bees with Screen celebrates the wheelie again for the main grandstand. The champion from the Coventry Bees with 14 points, Andy Smith. Second place from the Bellevue Aces with 13 points, Joe Screen. And third place, also with 13 points, from the Bradford Dukes, it's Gary Havelock. And Screen celebrates with another wheelie going. He's done his lap of wheelies and now goes back up into the pits.
Martin Dugard. In sixth place on 8 points, Martin Goodwin. Seventh equal with David Norris and Chris Louis. In ninth position was David Collins. 10th spot went to Les Collins with 6 points. And in the 11th spot, returned to the next round, it was Troy Pratt.
presentations here of the 1993 British Speedway Championship for the World Final. We bring them up, as always, in reverse order. So let's salute the man who claims the world title tag. In third place, Gary Havelock. Gary, of course, from Blackburn, from Augusta. So the Golden Men from Scorpio, from the Gladiators, and a big kiss as well from the Madonna lookalike. And Tim Swales has the trophy, the SBA chairman. Gary climbs on to third spot. And after one dramatic run-up for the second place from Bellevue, 20-year-old Joe Screen. Into second place there. The Garland again from Scorpio from the Gladiators. Bit of a kiss from Madonna lookalike. No kiss from Tim Swales, of course, who hands the trophy over. So Screeny up into second place there. Onto the podium in second place. Ladies and gentlemen, we now salute the British champion for 1993 from Coventry, Andy Smith. So Norman then was Scorpio for the Gladiators, a kiss from Madonna's lookalike. Tim Swales hands over the BSPA trophy for the championship. Yeah. Yes. We have... Thank you, Mr. Patrick. Oh, how this die hard, don't they? We bring up Colin Clark then, and also we salute Lynn Collins. Lynette Collins, the daughter of Jack Parker, because Andy picks up the Jack Parker Memorial Trophy, the shield there, for being the British champion. Jack, of course, synonymous with Speedway. Sadly lost to the sport just a couple of years ago, but good to see his daughter Lynette with us to hand over that rather special trophy here at the British. Lynette, if we can get you to turn around, that's it. You see, on command there, your words of wisdom out suffice again. All right, and the official trophy, which Mr. Michael Lim has with him for the British Championship. Michael, of course, the SCB chairman, chief executive of the RAC. Always welcome Michael to all our important meetings. And there he goes, the British Champions Trophy from Mr. Michael Lim from the Speedway Control Board. Thank you, Michael. Excellent stuff. Well done. The bottle of bubbly there, but just before he sprays everybody with that, we'll try and get a word with him. Andy Smith, British champion. Well done. How do you feel?
Fantastic. I've waited 9 years and it's finally happened. I'm really pleased.
A tough old competition today.
Yeah, very tough. It's good to see, like, me, myself, Gary and Joe, and the others who've done junior grass track and grown up together through it. It's been a real good meeting for me.
9 times lucky.
Yeah, 9 times lucky.
Well done, British champion, Andy Smith. Right, the old champ is this round. I get out of the way. I know what happens here. Yes, yeah, look. Go on, Andy. A British 1, 2, 3 there, and the boy's going to fly the Union Jack at the...